So I watched the first episode of a little known anime right now called Oshi no Ko. Let me just go to my anime list, a website that I love. I love it for many reasons, especially because they tried to sue me once. That is a true story. A lot of you don't know this. I had this whole meme where I got interspecies reviewers to the #1 highest rated anime on my anime list. They got so upset, they tried to sue me. Anyway, the reason why I mention all that is because if you go right now to my anime list and you go to the top anime of all time, the #1 anime on the entire website is Oshi no Ko. It's this new anime that so many people haven't heard of. And I never heard of it before it came out. And then it's everywhere. So I watched the first episode of Oshi no Ko. It is hour-and-a-half long first episode with one of the worst premises of all time. I did make a video about it. The video is not out yet because everything's getting demonetized on my channel. But I did record a video on it. Oshi no Ko has the worst premise you'll ever see. But it's like a masterpiece anyway. It's a story about a 16-year-old girl who got pregnant, goes to a hospital. The doctor is a huge simp of this idol who got pregnant, and the doctor dies and gets reincarnated as the girl's baby, which is the cringiest premise you will ever hear in the history of the world. And the first 20 minutes of this anime, I was cringing big time. However, it's one of the best anime I've ever seen. I will not lie to you. Anyway, the reason why I mentioned this is because I noticed Gigguk made a video called She Doesn't Love You, because that's a very common premise in the first episode of the show. It is about Oshi no Ko. He made a video a year ago about this anime, and I'm excited to watch it right now because I loved the first episode.
This video is sponsored by Girl Cafe Gun.
That's one of the games of all time.
What's it like behind all the lights and glamour? How much of what we're shown is based on lies and deceit? And what is it like to be one of these celebrities?
Well, I'll tell you from my perspective, y'all think I don't have sex. How wrong you are.
Does your favorite girl really love you? Well, of course she doesn't, you delusional twat.
How can you say that? I watch VTubers and they all love me. What?
Oshi no Ko is a manga that explores these exact topics. Now, for the longest time, I was one of those anime fans that would get confused whenever a new show would be announced and all these manga readers would scurry out and be hyped about it. But now, being in Japan, getting exposure to the hottest new titles, I think I finally found one. Oshi no Ko is a series where it's only a matter of time before this gets licensed, and it is too good to not get an anime adaptation eventually. And I'm just happy to be on the other side of the fence for once for that. So I just wanted to talk about this a bit today.
Damn.
But before we get onto this series, I just wanted to talk about today's sponsor, Girl Cafe Gun.
That is one of the games of all time!
From the same artist. It's one of those titles that is worth giving a chance just because of the names behind it. Coming from the same artist that did Scum's Wish, written by the
Scum's Wish was ass! I'm just gonna say it.
mangaka of Kaguya-sama.
Kaguya-sama was pretty damn good.
Because while still writing and drawing Kaguya-sama, doing a weekly serialized manga which is famous for pushing many artists to their limits, Aka Akasaka was just like, let's start another one. But despite the names behind it, you wouldn't be able to get what this manga is about just by reading the synopsis or the beginning. I mean, this was my experience reading chapter 1.
Oh, dude, he's like me. We're like the same person. Dude, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro. The first 20 minutes of the first episode was ass.
Okay, so we got some idol story here.
Right,
That's
cute,
cool.
cute,
And,
cute. Yeah, it's cute.
What the fuck?
Oh, she's getting
gynecologist.
She's having a baby.
What
Nani? What? She's having a baby?
the fuck?
That's
Teen
wild.
pregnancy? What the
How is a teen pregnancy in
fuck?
here?
He's already dead?
He dies.
What the fuck?
Here he goes. He gets the wild. Here's the wild one.
He's the baby now?
He gets reincarnated as the baby of the idol that he's simping for, and every time he sees her booba, he's like, I can't look at her booba. She is the goddess that I simp for. And she's like, when I need to breastfeed you, you're a baby. And he's like, no, I mustn't peer at your booba. Huh? This show sucks. And then you finish the episode and it's like, oh my god, this is like the best story of all time. Like, the premise is so bad. You cannot sell this on anyone by the premise alone. If you want to recommend this anime to someone, you have to say, listen, I'm not gonna tell you what the anime is about, but if you trust me as a friend, you will watch the entire first episode. You will not stop in middle, you will just watch the whole first episode.
What? Yeah, you heard that right. The main character is an idol-obsessed gynecologist who finds out that his favorite idol is pregnant, promises he's gonna deliver the baby, then gets fucking murdered by one of her obsessed fans, and then gets reborn as a fucking baby.
It's the weirdest premise in the history of the world.
I say again, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I
true.
thought I was getting some idol manga, then by the end of chapter 1 I had enough physical whiplash to give me neck problems.
Yeah, they were so smart for making the first episode of the anime an hour and a half long, because if the first episode would have just been 20 minutes that ends with him reincarnated as the baby, there is no shot I would have watched episode 2.
And the babies have memories of their past life, and then they can talk, and I'm just like, what the
Yeah, because they were twins.
fuck is this? Mushoku Tensei? Gynecologist reincarnation? Did I just stumble upon some fucking idol isekai? But trust me when I say this strange premise doesn't really have much to do with what the series is actually about. Well, kinda. It's hard to explain. There is a major subplot I don't want to spoil, but the premise basically just gives this convoluted reason for Ai's son, Aqua, to become an actor and follow in his mother's footsteps, and starting his journey into the twisted world of show business.
He literally skipped the best part because he doesn't want to spoil. Gigguk, you absolute Giga Chad.
It's an unfiltered look at the Japanese entertainment industry from the eyes of the people working behind it.
Good music choices.
It's raw, it's real, and oftentimes it can get pretty dark, resulting in
does.
what I think is the most promising titles to be released in recent years. If anyone was a big fan of Act Age,
Act Age manga writer Tatsuya Matsuki was sentenced in court today after being found guilty of indecent acts toward a minor. Yeah. The author, thank you. The author of Act Age is a pedophile. Yeah, I just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth about this, not gonna lie.
and like me, was severely disappointed
Oh, I literally didn't have to wait. My man out here with the receipt.
happens, then in many ways, Oshi no Ko is my spiritual successor, showing people in the acting field, breaking down the talents and commitment it takes to be a successful actor. But unlike Act Age, this series isn't just limited to acting. Idols, reality shows, TV dramas, stage plays. The series takes you on a journey
It's a journey through the life of a celebrity influencer and the really dark side of all of it. Except it's so much better! He didn't even get into the good part!
through the underbelly, behind the scenes of the Japanese entertainment industry.
What's so crazy is this story has like its superficial plot and it has its much deeper plot. The superficial plot is insanely good and calculated and devastating. You see the hate these people get on Twitter. Stevie, my editor who's in chat right now being a cuck, he's busy always saying that, dude, there's a Twitter cancellation arc. He'll relate to it so much. Goddamn Stevie, you piece of shit.
And shows you what it means to be the people behind the camera, up on that stage with hundreds or thousands of people cheering you on, what it takes to get there and the effect it can have on any individual who finds themselves in that position. The manga doesn't pull any punches when it comes to its depiction of the modern entertainment landscape. Not to say it's all doom and gloom, I mean, come on, it's coming from the same author as Kaguya-sama, but it doesn't shy away with just showing things for what they are. The series literally starts off dismantling the idol industry, openly embracing the entire industry as a facade, a fake image
Incredibly corrupt image where they're taking these girls, turning them into marketing ploys, where they don't want them to have lives.
sold by how talented the stars on stage are at being liars. Ai Hoshino's whole existence is in a world of lies. Her lies to her audience is her form of love. It is a lie we buy into, and not only does the series straight up tell you that, but it can celebrate it as well. No matter what sector of entertainment it explores, it never stops reminding you that show business is
all
a
a
show
lie.
business.
It's so true. Chat, you don't even know this. You might think I am a virgin loser sitting in my room all the time making YouTube videos that never got my dick wet ever. Anyway.
Everything is deception, everything is marketable, everything can become a commodity. But underneath the surface, the real strength in the series is Aka Akasaka's ability to write sympathetic characters. Behind the fame and glamour are real people, people that have to live in this world of deception, people who have to deal with the pressures of being constantly judged, not only by their audience, but the industry they work in. What I love is that, aside from maybe the main character, how human everyone feels. Everyone has all these little
Aside from the main character, you mean the genius doctor that got reincarnated as the baby of an idol and becomes Light Yagami? You mean that guy?
insecurities and anxieties that you can relate to, and these only get enhanced by working in the entertainment industry. To say that entering the cutthroat world of show business won't be detrimental to your mental health is a bit like saying entering the JoJo fandom will leave you with an unsucked dick. Okay. And the Manga doesn't pull any punches when exploring the effects of this industry on the talent's mental health. It humanizes these inhuman idols. It makes you see the twisted world they have to live in, and one thing that impressed me the most was that it did it in a way that's all the more relevant right now. Traditional celebrity culture has thankfully been on the decline in recent years.
Thankfully, I hate celebrity culture. God, who would vote for Kanye?
We can all see that they are all also human. Some of them have flaws, and a lot of them are very, very out of touch with the current times. And we can all agree that paparazzis are below dung beetles in the social hierarchy. Alright, maybe that was a bit harsh.
I disagree. I think paparazzi is ass, and the entire concept of paparazzi needs to get run over by a tractor.
Dung beetles are actually good for the environment. But then
Let's go, Base Gigguk!
That has been the rise of the social media.
That's the biggest YouTuber.
Celebrity. Before, celebrity figures might have felt like they were up on this pedestal, untouchable and unreachable. But now, some of the most influential figures have never been more relatable, more seemingly in reach. And
you show me all these idols? Bro, there's nothing to simp for in the idol industry. Moist critical? Oh, I'll touch my dick.
Thankfully, the author seems to be very in touch with the modern landscape because social media plays a massive part in many of these stories. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw stories about people trying to become successful YouTubers and Instagrams and TikToks, because I was like, yeah, now you're coming in my neck of the woods.
Oh yeah!
Surreal, seeing a manga that was basically centered around my career and industry. And coming from the inside, seeing these stories based around influencers and their culture, it does a fucking great job. Alright, I'm about to go on a tangent that doesn't seem like it has anything to do with anything, but trust me, I do have a point and it does relate back to this fucking manga. Alright, here's a little secret I really hope won't come back to bite me in the ass in the future by admitting. I often wonder how I would handle getting cancelled. Okay, this is not—
Well, my little friend Gigguk, I know exactly how I would handle it. I would handle it with all the fire and pizzazz and love. All of that incredible fun stuff. I would handle it by not lashing out and taking down all the people that have wronged me. I would react by being the bigger man, so that I could live another day whilst not tarnishing or ruining the lives of others around me, whether I think they are right or wrong. I would always take the high road when I get canceled. I would laugh at the occasional asshole, but I would also not go far too far.
To fucking say that I sit in front of a mirror rehearsing how to say,
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Nor do I think there's anything I've done which I'm scared is going to get exposed and I'm going to have to apologize about. But as a YouTuber whose career is tied to my online presence and image, cancel culture and how to properly manage that has become a massive factor in my job. It can be something that ends careers, or it can be something that you brush off and move on from. But regardless, no one is immune to its effect, no matter how much you think someone is uncancelable.
Yeah.
Let's talk about apology videos, for example. If you think about it, apology videos should be a simple affair. Someone does something wrong, so they apologize, and then people forgive them, or they don't. But nowadays, people getting cancelled and creative apologies have become so commonplace that it's almost become a cliche. Good apologies, bad apologies. Over time, we've been exposed to the entire fucking spectrum, so much so that you could even say that there's even a fucking meta for YouTuber apology videos that we can break—
That's actually hilarious—
down, parody, and sometimes even rank. And that's because apology videos aren't about being sorry.
No, it's about convincing the people!
About winning back public favor.
Yes,
it's PR. Even if the person is actually sorry. Like, if I had to make an apology video, regardless of if I was being genuine or not, it's actually irrelevant. Because all that's important is about making you believe that I'm being genuine.
100%.
And unfortunately,
100%.
being genuine and trying to convince a mass audience that you are being genuine
are two different things.
Are two entirely different things.
Preach.
Now, this may seem like a strange tangent to go on. That may look like I have a weird obsession about the thought of getting cancelled. But that's because I was astonished when I saw Oshi no Ko dealing with this exact topic. Not only does it portray what happens when you're just flooded with hate comments that puts you in this self-destructive loop you can't escape from, that gives you this
It's actually so
suffocating feeling, which I can never truly describe in words to someone who hasn't been in that same position, but it also addresses how fickle public opinion can be and how easily it can sway, and even the tactics and strategies you can use to sway it to your side and game the system. They have a full-on Death Note style breakdown of the mechanics of getting cancelled and how to uncancel yourself, and I was absolutely amazed reading this because some of this stuff was exactly the same stuff I've thought about, because that's just what the ecosystem has become. So the biggest compliment I can give is that from someone working on the other side of the industry is that Oshi no Ko was pretty spot on with its portrayal. It managed to make a super compelling story arc.
That's actually so dope. I'm literally so excited to continue this show. Not only does it look and sound absolutely beautiful, and again, this is all the superficial storyline. There's also the deep, dark underbelly storyline that he's not even talking about. But, like, god damn is it good.
It made me feel not like a psychopath for thinking this deeply about getting cancelled.
I've made a severe...
This is just one of the story arcs that the manga has dealt with in the many facets of Japanese entertainment, and regardless of if I've been as familiar with them as this example, so far they've all been as equally compelling and, as far as I can tell, as equally well researched. Right now there are only 5 volumes out in Japan, so it's still very early days, but I only see this growing in strengths. There are so many facets it still could explore. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there was an arc about VTubers in the future, with how much Akasaka is in touch with the modern entertainment landscape. Also, for the record, Kanae's best girl. I've claimed her. Back off, weebs. Keep an eye out for this title in the future, because if I was a betting man, this is getting an anime adaptation one day. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. This is a great manga, so let's just go straight to the outro. Thank you again to Girl Cafe Gun for sponsoring me today. As you know, I'll probably do more in the future. Say hello to the Manga Zone. Also, not taking a break from doing things after I've landed, but
just from the first episode, you could tell that they're really taking it seriously and how they're portraying the, like, cancel culture and lying and the facade. But this is why I've always said never trust a YouTuber. Aside from when I tell you that you will not regret hitting the like and subscribe button. That is something you will not regret, and you could trust me. That is the one thing that you should trust me about. The fact that you should click on all of my videos. Trust me about that. Trust me, bro. Source? I made it the fuck up. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Weird fam. It was a banger video, and it was a banger series, and I respect him so much for not spoiling anything. Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.